Daniel from the Hill, also in Washington, Republican Senator Tom Cotton from Arkansas. Sir, hello to you and thank you for your time today. Member of the Armed Services Committee, you wanted an exemption on this bill. It did not pass. You were trying to make sure that the commander-in-chief had the ability to go after certain terrorist groups. Why did that fail, sir?
Yeah, Bill, I'm very disappointed that the Senate didn't decide that the president as commander-in-chief should be able to use the armed forces to protect our country, protect our troops against designated terrorist organizations. That's exactly what Qasem Soleimani led last month whenever our armed forces killed him as he was planning an attack against American personnel. My amendment simply would have said that nothing can limit the president's authority to defend our troops and our citizens and our interests from foreign terrorist organizations. I'm disappointed that it didn't pass. I'm disappointed this resolution passed. But as you said, the president will veto it if it gets to his desk. And the Ayatollah should make no mistake. This president is ready to defend the United States from any of their terrorist plots, and they should not take the risk that Qasem Soleimani did and learn the hard way last month not to cross this president.
Okay, let's run through a couple of things. You think a veto is in the offing then, correct? That's what you believe?
If this resolution goes to the president, I'm 100% confident he will veto it. This president does not want to start a new war, but if Iran threatens action against our troops or our interests, as they have repeatedly for 41 years, he is not going to let that stand. And Congress ought not to send a message that we will not support the kind of targeted action that we took last month, removing one of the most vicious terrorist butchers from the face of the earth.
Okay,
Qasem Soleimani.
Just reading between the lines on your proposal, you were trying to make sure, I believe, that if the U.S. military wanted to target terrorist groups in Iraq that had ties to Iran, it would be able to do that. Was that your objective, Senator?
That's precisely right, Bill. And I think it makes no sense to say that our commander-in-chief has to run to Congress and get 535 approvals at a time when it may be a matter of minutes or even hours to strike a target of opportunity, as we had with Qasem Soleimani.
Okay, Chuck Schumer, we heard from him a moment ago. Listen to this. I'll ask you a specific question about him and also your Republican colleague, Mike Lee. First.
Authority to go to war. Democratic and Republican senators have made that crystal clear. No president can sidestep Congress when it comes to matters of war and peace.
So you got that to answer to. And also Senator Lee, the Republican from Utah, said the bill is entirely consistent with the president's policy about ending wars overseas and not starting them, which is exactly the point that you just made. So how do we square the two, Senator?
Well, first off, Bill, I'd say that not every military action leads to a war with 150,000 troops deployed. We killed one of the world's worst terrorist leaders last month. We are not currently invading Iran or occupying its capital. There is a range of military action that our commander-in-chief can order to protect our interests. As far as Congress's role, I agree that Congress plays an important role in keeping this country safe. The president is the commander-in-chief under Article 2 of our Constitution. Congress has the spending power, though, and if Congress doesn't like what the president is doing or might do in the future, we can always limit his ability to spend taxpayer funds. We've done that a lot in recent history, in Vietnam, in Nicaragua, in Somalia. If the Congress wanted to do it, we can do it again. What we haven't discussed, though, is that the sponsors of this resolution and the Democrats in the House tried to do just that with Iran last year, and they failed because they didn't have the votes to do so. So instead, we went with a paper resolution when what we really need in facing off against Iran is iron resolution.
Senator, thank you for your time. We'll see if a veto is eventually headed our way. Thank you, Tom Cotton, the Republican from Arkansas. Thank you for your time. In a moment, talking with the